Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter when you may be catching this particular broadcast. Out to these pals to hear your voice manager. I unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. Host of the hashtag Speak Easy podcast, and I'm excited to come and chat with you guys. Listen, I was in the mojo this morning. I was on a roll. I was getting things done. Boom, 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 boom. I looked up and I was like, oh man, let me not forget to go live. That part. But I literally was taking care of some stuff with the blog, taking care of the first quarter mastermind classes for my accountability membership. And so doing some things, I was out here thanging, just out here thanging, uh, but excited about what is coming down the pipeline for not just me. I think that's so exciting about this is that I'm excited about what's coming down the pipeline for my clients, like what's about to open up for them, that part. And so, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, welcome, welcome. Go ahead, make sure that you hit the follow, that you go ahead and subscribe, that you go ahead and chat it up with me. I love seeing your comments because I put them on the screen as long as they are respectable. I go ahead and put them on the screen because I love you being a part of the conversation. That's what this is all about. Come on. That's what it's all about. Hokey pokey, that part. I know that you saw the title for today's uh talk, because let's be honest, let's be real. Oh, we got some things to talk about, y'all. We really, really do. And so too many times we rob ourselves because we think that we're doing what's respectable. Now this gonna hurt a few folk feelings. I get it, I understand. But some of y'all literally have been robbing yourselves just to be able to go and say that you did something for someone else. Some people have been robbing themselves and not giving their all. And ultimately, that's how we get sidetracked. So I'm going to tell you why. Whoa. But this is because I want y'all to finish this year strong. Real talk. I want you to finish this year strong. I want you to literally be able to go and make the connections, have the conversations, do what needs to be done, right? I want to see you succeed. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Here we go. All right, so it's coming through clearly. I want to see you succeed. And so we literally have about 2 months. Yeah, we have about 2 months left in 2021. And this is like a time where people are like going all in, they're fighting. Some people have given up, some people are like struggling in this year, in this time frame. Fourth quarter can definitely make or break some things. And in understanding that, you have to realize sometimes you've been robbing yourself. Hear me clearly. There are times where you've been robbing yourself of time, peace, and joy. And the way you've been robbing yourself is because you've been giving it to someone else. The way you've been robbing yourself is because you have not been deliberate about the time, your peace, and your joy. And ultimately, it's because, and listen, because I want you to have this clear understanding. There is a time for everything. And there will be moments where you have to sacrifice time, sacrifice your peace, sacrifice your joy and what makes you happy. There will be a time for that. But Some of you have taken that to an extreme. And so you're not doing what you need to do for you because you're still sacrificing your time. You're still sacrificing your peace in order to give somebody else peace. You're still sacrificing your joy in order to give somebody else joy. And in order for you to finish out this year strong, you have to make a deliberate decision that you will no longer rob yourself. You're going to stop robbing yourself of your time, your peace, and your joy. And so I was looking at just the things that have been transpiring. I've been getting all of the, like, I wish I could just show y'all all the emails that I get for different opportunities, the emails, and people want me to be in a meeting for this, a meeting for that, all of these different things. And I learned over time that, y'all better catch this, when you are not a good steward over your time, your peace, and your joy, there will always be somebody who's willing to use it to their advantage. I hope y'all caught that. When you are not a good steward over your time, your peace, and your joy, there will always be somebody who is willing to take advantage of that. There's always somebody who's willing to take that and make that what they use in order to better have more, and well, not even better, in order for them to have more time, peace, and joy. Now, granted, this is going to be it's going to be an interesting conversation. I won't be before you long because I got to go back and finish doing work and stuff. But I needed to come and talk to you guys because that was the way that we've been robbing ourselves. We rob ourselves when we're not a good steward over what it is we have. We rob ourselves financially when we're not a good steward over our finances. We rob ourselves emotionally when we're not a good steward over our mental health. Y'all better come on. We rob ourselves physically when we're not a good steward over our body, and we're not a good steward when it comes to our health. We're literally robbing ourselves in so many areas of our lives, but yet we want success. We want the best, but we're treating ourselves like the worst. And I think about the scripture where it says, even you as a parent, an earthly parent, you give your children good gifts. And God was talking about how he gives us good gifts. That's what he's meant to give us, good gifts. But he's given us good gifts that we have not taken, we've not done very well with them. Good morning, Shalonda. Hey, sis. He's given us good gifts, and we're laying them by the wayside. Imagine giving your child a gift, and then we see it all the time. They don't use it, or they use it improperly. Imagine buying your child an iWatch, and your child is using the iWatch to play fetch with the dog. But yet, this is how it looks when we have these gifts, we have these talents, we have these creative ideas. Look, God said in the scripture, Deuteronomy 8:18, that He would give us the wisdom to create wealth. He gave us all this wisdom, and we're robbing ourselves because we're not using it. We're robbing ourselves because we think that the only wisdom we can attain is from the people around us. We think that The wisdom isn't valuable. Like we don't see the value of what it is that we already know. We don't see the value of our body. We don't see the value of our mind. We don't see the value of our finances. And so we're always going to be left to somebody else putting a value what we refuse to put a value on. And think of it like this, to a homeless person, a sandwich is a whole lot, like a dollar sandwich is valuable. It's the circumstances that you're in that creates the value of what you're holding in your hand. As we go into these last 2 months, go back and reevaluate the value of what you are holding in your hand. Reevaluate the value of your time. Reevaluate the value of your peace. Reevaluate the value of your joy. Reevaluate the value of what you have in your finances, what you have in your experiences and in your mind that you can go and share with the world. Reevaluate what you have. Because here's the thing is we've gone so long with asking somebody else to give us a value for what it is we own that we forget that God gave us the value first. We're going and we're struggling and we're fighting and we're like, oh, we should go and we should check out the market. Why? When you look at water, just as simple as water, you get water in your tap every day. Yet there are dollar bottles of water, there are $5 bottles of water, there are $10 bottles of water. Now they may say that there's more nutrients and more minerals and more this, and they added this, and this one it was kissed by the sun. But the reality is it's still water, right? The value is pushed out by the person that holds the water, not by the people that are buying it. And so we downplay what we bring into the world because we don't even see the value in it, but we're expecting somebody else to tell us how valuable it is. I'm doing a training for my accountability community this weekend, and I'm going to go back and show them the value of what they have. And here's the thing, I made a commitment to them that we would no longer waste time, energy, and money. And in doing so, I've given them ideas and opportunities for them to go and make money from what they already have. Little things. But tomorrow's training, I'm training them on a way that they can make money from what they already have and continuously make money from it. And it goes so far beyond what most people have normally say. No, I'm not telling you about making a course. I'm not telling you about going and writing a book. I'm not telling you about any of those things. I'm telling them and teaching them, and we're actually going to go through the process together. I'm telling them and teaching them about doing something that is going to remind them on several levels that you need to value what you already have, because somebody else values it, but they're never going to give you the true value that it's worth. And so when I think about working the job, when I think about the business, starting the business, even when starting the business, it was interesting because I remember being told, "Oh yeah, because you're unique and you're special, and what you do is so amazing." And then having somebody in the same breath tell me, "Oh, but that's not what other people charge." Wait, what? How do you want in one instance talk about being unique and difference and this is so valuable, and then in the next one say, oh, but that's not what other people are charging. That's not what I saw such and such charging. Good morning, Trudy. Come on, come on. That's not what I saw somebody else charging. And then I had to go back and say, well, wait. In their mind, they're looking at a comparison between me and someone else, but they don't even know all of what comes with me. So I'm robbing myself because I'm not upfront with what it is I have to offer. I'm not upfront with what it is that I have to offer that's uniquely different, which is why I charge what I charge. Now, granted, I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody. Come on. Y'all better come on this morning. I'm not going to go back and forth with anybody. The fee is going to be the fee. But when I was getting started, I would discount myself. Here's the thing. Oh, y'all, I can tell y'all all the tea. I would discount myself so much so that I was giving way more than what I was getting. And so I was giving books away. I was doing all types of stuff behind the scenes. I was discounting my services. Y'all, it crazy stuff. And then people would put a high demand on something that I've discounted. And here's one of the things we have to learn when it comes to us robbing ourselves. People will always put a high demand on what you put out into the world. If they don't, then they don't really value what it is you're putting out into the world. Can we just be honest? They don't really value what you're putting out into the world if they're not putting a high demand on it. When they put a high demand on what you're putting out into the world, it's because they value it. But we rob ourselves by discounting ourselves because we think we don't even value what we have. So we think we got to offer them more. So I remember at one point I was doing telesummits before everybody and their mama was doing summits before the pandemic. This is maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. I was doing all of this stuff with summits. I was teaching people how to do them, how to set them up. I was running it in the background for people, and I was going and putting this price on it because of what somebody had told me. Oh yeah, because yeah, you this is the price you should put on it. Now, granted, what they told me, they were telling me that, but they had not done all the work that I had done behind the scenes. They were saying it according to what they wanted to pay. Y'all better come on. So I was robbing myself because I was out here doing full on summits. I mean, talking with all the speakers, doing a speaker training, doing speaker meetings, do all of this stuff, y'all. And I can be honest and transparent because I was doing it all for less than $200. Thank you for sharing, Shalonda. I was doing it for less than $200. And I found myself doing all of this work, spending all of this time on somebody else's project, on somebody else's baby, bringing literally helping them to birth this whole thing. And people wouldn't even give a review. People wouldn't even say thank you. Simple things, y'all. Simple things. And here it is. I'm like, I didn't give you a discount. I didn't give you my all. I go 150%, 200% on everything. And I'm doing all of this. And yeah, I wouldn't even get a thank you. I wouldn't get a review. Like, it was crazy. Or what was worse was I would do all of this work, and then people would take that same information from all of the work that I did, and then the next time they would do it themselves with their own team. And so for years, y'all, for years, I was doing it. And I thank you, God, for just, bringing that back to my remembrance. But there's so many ways that we rob ourselves. And so I was literally robbing myself each and every day. Every time that I worked with somebody, I was robbing myself because I was not presenting myself as the value that I am. Look, Trudy said, wait a minute. Look, she gave the face like, wait a minute. But I take this is the thing. I take responsibility for it because at that time, I didn't realize what it meant to be a brand. I wasn't being taught what it meant to be a brand. I wasn't taught what it meant to understand and appreciate the works of your hands. Here's the thing. We always talk about the man with the talent that buried the one talent. But what we fail to talk about is how we still semi-bury our talent because we're not charging what we should be charging. We still bury our talent when we go and we discount ourselves because we think that we're not good enough. We still bury our talent when we're not clear and bold about what it is that we bring to the table. Here it is. We still bury our talent. You still buried your talent. You just didn't bury it 100%. You still buried it. You just didn't bury it 100%. You just didn't bury it deep under the ground, but you still buried it. You still buried the gifts that you were given because you felt like, maybe I could do a little bit with it. So, okay, I won't show them the whole talent. And so you robbed yourself. Here's another thing that I found out. Another way that we were robbing ourselves. Come on. Come on. We were taught in coaching in the industry, we were taught that you go and you give a little bit because you want to entice them. You want to make them come back for more. You only give them a little bit. Don't give them too much. I'm gonna tell you how that robbed you. Ooh, y'all better catch this. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Listen, go ahead and share this out. I'm gonna tell you how it robbed you. It robbed you because you showed up with a hidden agenda and only gave them a little bit because you did not go and make a deliberate decision to continuously increase your knowledge in that industry. And so somebody's going to tell you only go and give them a little bit. Yeah, because all you got is a little bit to give. I all you got is a little bit to give. So yeah, you only can go ahead and sprinkle a little bit and then hope that they come back for more. Well, guess what? You robbed yourself because again, you did not show up 100% in what it is that you had to offer. Only give them here. Look, here, have some freemiums for people. Cause yeah, and don't give too much in the freemium. Give people the freemium, and then they come in, and then you can give them a little bit more and upsell them and all. Listen, business is business. Yes, there is a journey. There's something called a customer journey, and there's a customer journey that happens in business. Yes, you want to go ahead and you want to have that customer journey. I get it. I understand. But the customer journey is going to be different according to your business. But here's the thing. The customer journey does not always start with something free. And so the first time I saw somebody not offer a freemium and they were a speaker, now mind you, I had been doing telesummits and been behind the scenes and I had worked with hundreds of different speakers from all over the world. From my own telesummit to other people's telesummits, I've worked with hundreds of speakers behind the scenes for live events, virtual events, all of that. The first time I saw somebody not give a freemium, it floored me because that was complete opposite of what everybody else was doing. But she made a decision that she was not, and it was April Beverly. I still follow her to this day because April is the bomb.com. Okay. Listen. Okay. She's the bomb.com to this day. But the first time I saw somebody not give a freemium was April Beverly. And she does everything with copy and for your emails, for your website, the words that you use. And listen, copy closet, that's all April Beverly. But it floored me because I had, to message the all the speakers and find out, well, when, what's your freemium? I needed to find out the links, y'all. And she was like, oh no, I don't do a freemium, but here's my link. We rob ourselves because again, we trying to follow what everybody else is doing. And then we stuck because we following everybody else. Look, Trudy said, ouch, we following everybody else. No, and when she did, and listen, she's still running business to this day. You listen, she's still doing the thing to this day. She's going and hiring other people. She's still working it out. I, she's still going. And she did not get stuck in that space. I saw so many people that will freemium people until they can't freemium people no more. Here's the thing. I had to learn that when I go live, this is free. I had to learn that everybody's not doing a free discovery call. They're not, because they value, they stop robbing themselves of their time, their peace, and their joy. They stop robbing themselves. And so when we get to that point where we say we're going to stop robbing ourselves of our time, our peace, and our joy, man, things change. I don't look at it as what is everybody else in the market doing. I look at it as, God, what's the plan that you have for me? Where am I supposed to go? Because He has called us to be a peculiar people. So therefore, we're going to do some things that shake up the industry, no matter what industry you're in. We're going to do some things that go ahead and kind of move on the side of ain't nobody ever did that before. I don't know if it's going to work. That's not my problem. God said this is the plan and I'm going with him. Because guess what? It's on him to make it successful. It's on me to do what he asked me to do. It's on him to make sure it goes to where it needs to be. It's on him. I get it. We've relied so heavily on ourselves. That's another way that we rob ourselves, is because we're thinking we got to do everything with our own two hands. We're thinking we have to do everything with our own two hands. And so you're running around trying to do it all with your own two hands. You're running around trying to go ahead and pay for everything. You're running around trying to save money to do. Have you gone back to the one who created the plan? Have you gone back to the one that created the plan so that way you could go and actually be in unison with that one, with the actual plan, and then take that to another level? I get it. It's easy. Again, it is very, very easy to just say, no, this is not how this gets done, and I don't know about this, and I don't know. Y'all, we literally psych ourselves out. We psych ourselves out. I told you, I get people who are literally, I have people right now who, because of the person that I am, they said, whenever you need me, just let me know. Whatever you need me for, if it's a speaking opportunity, if it's this or that, just let me know. I've built those types of relationships. I've built those types of friendships. And I've built it when every other people were doing all these crazy stuff and treating people like crap and doing all this stuff. And craziness. I built those types of, and it's funny because one of the ways I built it was through my podcast. Other people were like, "Oh, you should be charging for this, and you should be charging." I wouldn't be where I am if I did what everybody else did. There are people right now that will charge you $25, 100 and some odd dollars to be a guest on their show, but they're not even consistent with their show. There's people that take you through the ringer for different things, and they're not even doing what they need to do with different, like, it's crazy. And I'm like, even when I thought about this, the morning press show, I was like, okay, well, God, I thought, we're supposed to be doing this at 9 a.m. and this and that. He said, no, 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 but this is for a different purpose. He said, what is the purpose of this show? I said, to deliver whatever you download to your peoples, God, your peoples. This has a different purpose. Lit, Shalonda. Can I just be honest? Can I just tell the truth? I've had moments where, and I understand this now, and I can be truthful about it now, but the moments when I wasn't consistent in things that I was doing, it was because it wasn't even things that I was supposed to be doing. The moments where I was inconsistent in the things that I was doing, it was things that I was not supposed to be doing. And so, for instance, I made um I made intros and outros when Facebook had us allowed us to do intros and outros. I had intros and outros, and I was creating those. And then again, from the suggestion of that my coach at that time, oh, you should be getting paid for that. Okay, listen, my auntie always says a monkey will take money and ain't got no pockets. Now y'all go on and take that and filter that through your shana. Okay. She'll say a monkey will take money and ain't got no pockets. Y'all just let that filter through your shana. I I that's for sure enough ouch. Cause I feel that every time she say it. And so I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and do this. I had a whole business created around doing videos, doing intros and outros. And then I was doing like little promo videos and doing this and doing that. And I'm sitting here doing all this foolishness and I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Good morning, Sis. Good morning, Eureka. Good morning, Carolyn. I didn't like it. And so I'm out here running around like a chicken with my head cut off, doing something that took a whole lot of time. Again, I was robbing myself because I wasn't putting the correct price on it. I was discounting it for people who were in the community. I was doing all of this stuff. And I ended up running myself ragged. For what? For what? The money that I made was not more than the money that I put out. Because I was paying for the programs that I was using. I was paying the software. My laptop. I wasn't taking into any of the no consideration for any of the stuff I was using. But I was just listening to what somebody told me that I should do, and so I robbed myself. Y'all, listen. My auntie will say some. She'll put some sayings out there, and I'll be like, I feel like you just called me a monkey, but I also feel where you coming from with that statement right there. I feel where you coming from with that statement, but I feel like you just called me a monkey. Like that's how it be with my auntie. I love her. I love her. Listen, I love her with all my heart. She 4'11" and is feisty as can be. I was on the phone with her yesterday. Me and my sister paused our show and was talking to my auntie for maybe about 20 minutes. And I love it. I love it a life. Y'all, it was funny as heck. But that's the conversation. She's also the one that taught me, sometimes you just got to be a part of the shut up ministry. And I was like, ouch. Ouch, ouch. Clutch my pearls. That's rude. Wait a minute. Yeah, she said, sometimes you just gotta be a part of the shut up ministry. I learned that is very important. It's very valuable in relationships, in business, in even in coaching. There's sometimes where you got to be a part of the shut up ministry. You just got shh. You just take the shut to the up. Just because sometimes you learn more about a person from when you're listening to them than when you're actually talking to them. That's another conversation. We won't do that one today. But for those of you who are coming in, welcome, welcome. Thank you for sharing out the broadcast. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the conversation. If you post in the comments, I'll go ahead and I'll put it up on the screen because this is a conversation, y'all. Let's talk. We on the party line right now. We on the party line right now. Let's go. And so I am in a process of making sure that my clients understand the value of what they have, the value of their time, the value of their energy, the value of their finances, the value of whatever it is that they own, the value of their experiences, the value that comes with who they are. And it's an interesting place to be in because for so many years, many of them have been devalued because of one thing or another. Devalued because of a relationship, devalued because of homelessness, devalued because they got fired, devalued because they were told that they were not enough, devalued for so many different reasons and in so many different ways. And so it's literally a moment of going back to that talent that you buried and digging it up and saying enough is enough. I will not bury my talents anymore. I will not. Enough is enough. And when I make that conscious decision to say enough is enough, I'm not going to bury my talents anymore. There is a release that happens for us. I'm no longer stressed. I have peace. I got joy. Even when something don't go right, I can laugh about it because guess what? I'm not held back by it. I stopped robbing myself of being able to be happy. One moment is not going to mess up my whole day. It's a moment. It's a moment. One situation is not, listen, and this is why, and people asked me throughout the pandemic, did the pandemic affect your business? Yes. Did you lose clients? Yes. Did you have to, make some adjustments and did you lose money? Yes. We launched our book in the midst of the pandemic and because that was the launch date for it already and we were supposed to do a tour with the book. Couldn't do the tour. I was supposed to be doing the second part to the book anthology. The first part was supposed to release in 2020. The second part was supposed to release in 2021. I had to put that on hold because we went through so many things with the things that we were supposed to do when it came to having t-shirts and all of this stuff. It was so much going on, we couldn't do any of those things. Listen, we couldn't do it anymore. And so all of because listen, I get it. And everybody talks about, doing a budget and everything. So everything that I had written down for the budget, this is what I had to do. This is what I had to do, y'all. That's what I had to do because I had to start over and come from a different angle. Here's the thing. And this is another way that we rob ourselves. Some of you rob yourself simply by not realizing that the plans may change, but it doesn't have to change the goal. And so you rob yourself because you think if the plans have to change, the goal has to change, the end result has to change. And it's not necessarily the case. And so because you think you have to change the plan, you just completely gave up. And so with the accountability membership, these last 2 months, I'm going to put them in a position to be able to have some extra revenue coming in. Everybody, we all doing this work together. Together, okay? They will have an opportunity to have extra revenue coming in. They will have an opportunity, and I'm gonna push them through this whole process because I want them to be set on a solid foundation. On a solid foundation when we start in January. When we do that purge in January, oh, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm already on fire. Come on. Exactly. Just because the plan changed, it don't mean the goal has to change. So for me, the plan changed from 2020 and 2021, but the goal was still the same. I'm still unmuting the voice of women around the world. The plan changed, golden. And so we rob ourselves because we think just because the plan changed, we give up everything. We rob ourselves because we think that because the plan had to change, then we think that that's God telling us that we're not good enough for this goal. We're thinking that God is telling us we're not good enough for this particular goal, and that's why the plan had to change. No, no, no. Have you ever come across a detour in life and you were driving along and all of a sudden you see the big orange signs, you see the lights, you see cones, and you're just like, what in the world is going on? Why is this so difficult? What are y'all doing? Here's the thing. Sometimes the detour comes because there's an accident. And they're worried about your safety. Sometimes the detour comes because the regular route is being strengthened. I need y'all to catch this. Oh, I need y'all. I may have to walk down the street and record the work that they're doing down the street from my home because I need y'all to clearly hear me on this one. Sometimes there's a detour and things have to be adjusted simply because they're strengthening the foundation because the foundation you were on was not 100% for the season that's coming. And so right now people are going and they're strengthening the foundation, the roads, they're redoing them in preparation for the winter. Because in the winter months we get snow and salt and things like that and ice, and it does damage to the ground. And so if you wait, then what will happen is when those things happen, you'll have these big old potholes. Listen, and I was born and raised in Philly. I believe we the city of potholes. I promise you. Philadelphia is the city of potholes. I promise you. And I mean potholes to where you thought you was going to the underworld. when your vehicle when your vehicle dipped down into that pothole, you thought you was going into the underworld. So Philadelphia is the land of they heart, and they do not fix the potholes on a regular basis in Philadelphia. They don't. I don't know where the money be going. That's another conversation for another day. I don't know where the money be going, but I know where I am now in Maryland, in this little town, they fix the potholes, and then we're right on the border of Newark, Delaware, and so they fix the streets regularly. And so you have some people who get frustrated by the detour. They get frustrated by the fact that they can't go in the regular straight path. But here's the thing, they're strengthening it because they know that if they do it now, then they won't have to do it on the back end. They won't have to do as much. My old pastor used to always say it's better to prepare than to repair. But because we've been so accustomed to repairing things, we get frustrated when we see someone preparing something. We don't put ourselves in a position to prepare. So let's talk about this. Right now, things are shifting. And this is something, again, my clients understand this because I'm always talking to them about this. I am somebody, when it comes to business, I'm always going and doing my research and finding things out because shifts are always happening. And so when we see stuff, we see it and it's like, oh my goodness, it's the work that they're doing in on the ground. We're like, why? What is the purpose of this? Why are y'all tearing up the ground? But it's because there's something coming. So when we saw Facebook changed its name to Meta, it's because there's something coming. What's one of the things that's coming? Facebook is about to give us an opportunity to be able to do NFTs on the platform. Y'all better come on. Facebook is also testing out things when it comes to video. Again, if you don't see what's coming, you can't prepare for it. And so while everybody else was going, oh my God, Facebook doing another update, Facebook doing this, Facebook, I was telling my clients, hey, get back over on your business pages, clean them up. Some things is coming, some things is happening. Clean up your business pages. And they were like, oh man, are you sure, coach? But Facebook is not really getting that much engagement. Hear me when I tell you, go clean up your Facebook business page. So they went and then they started seeing little things pop up and they started seeing more opportunities. If you haven't looked, the Facebook business pages have more opportunities where you can make money through your business page and all these other things. And so they literally went back and was going and said, coach, I just got this that popped up. hmm hmm we talked about some of the other things when it came to some of these other platforms and ways that they could go ahead and kind of maximize. And I never teach them to be on every platform. There's no reason for you to be on every platform. I get it. Again, that's that thought process and that need to be, oh, I need everything. You don't. You don't. Remember, we're at a point where we've been robbing ourselves of time, peace, and joy. So you've robbed yourself of time because you're trying to show up everywhere. And what tends to happen is you go on there to post one thing and then you scrolling for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And you was only supposed to post one thing. I get it. But now I do go over there and I'm specific. I know I have to go on there and spend a certain amount of time engaging with other people on the platform. Same thing with Facebook, same thing. So if I'm on a platform, I'm going to do the work. That's why I came off of TikTok. That's why I came off of Twitter. Some of y'all got Twitter accounts that y'all don't even use. It's just sitting there. So why close it? Be deliberate about your time when it comes to what it is that you're going to do. That's one of the ways that I stopped robbing myself. I became more deliberate about where I'm showing up, how I'm showing up. And here's the other piece of it. I stopped just doing something for a short amount of time and trusting the results of that. I'm about to do the training I'm doing tomorrow is going to bring them extra money in a time where people are going to be looking at directly what they have and people are going to be clicking on stuff and people are going to be shopping for stuff and they don't even sell products. They're not selling anything. They're not sending anything out. They're not doing any of that, but they're going to be in a position to make money in one of the busiest times of the year. and we gonna set it up tomorrow. I'm not playing with them. They getting pushed off this cliff tomorrow. Because guess what? We keep telling ourselves, "Oh, I need to do this. I need to." We need some true accountability as to where it is we're trying to go and how we're going to get there. Sometimes we need something that's going to bring in more money, and this is where this came from. I grew up always thinking if you needed more money, you get another job. You need more money, get another job. I would have anywhere from 2 to 3 jobs at a time. And I was always taught that. I was taught that all my life. My mother, if she was a single mother, if she needed more money, she would get another job. When she was married, if she needed more money, she would get another job. After the divorce, if she needed more money, she would get another job. And that was that hustle mentality that we're taught that we need to have. Grind it out, hustle mentality. But there is a such thing as hustling with intention. There's a such thing as deliberate grinding. So many teach hustle and grind, but they don't teach what should be the intentionality behind it and how you should be deliberate with it. And so you hustle and grind your way into an early grave. Hustle and grind your way into a hospital bed. Hustle and grind your way into a divorce. You hustle and grind your way into a horrible relationship with your children because you hustling and grinding. When I talk to my clients, I make them step back from the hustle and the grind and get clear about what's your intention and how can you deliberately make this a reality. I remember working 2 and 3 jobs. I remember working 2 and 3 jobs and going to school. And I remember when everything came crashing down. I was separating from my husband. The house was in foreclosure. Everything was just crashing. I had to drop out of school. Everything was just crashing. And nobody around me was able to say, okay, take some time for yourself to to be able to get yourself together. Take some time and just step back in order to be able to be in a better place. No, nobody around me. No, nobody around me said, okay, so what's the next plan? What's the plan here? Nobody. It was, well, now you got to find a better job so that way you can, because you got more bills to take care of on your own. You got to find another apartment. You got to find this. You got to find that. And when we're always in that grind and hustle mentality, we do damage because we don't give ourselves the opportunity to go back to God and find out, God, what was the plan? What happened to the original plot of the story? Because sometimes you hustle and you grinding with your head down, and it may not have been a detour. You just walked off the beaten path. Mm. You know how you going so fast sometimes and you can't slow down? Yeah. So sometimes it wasn't that there was a detour. Sometimes you're the one that made the detour. Sometimes you're the one that ran off the road because you had so much energy towards this hustle and this grind. Come on. And it happens more oftentimes than not. And then because there's nobody that wants to be truthful about what it is. There's nobody that wants to be truthful about how it feels. There's no one that wants to be truthful about what it looks like. So many people, this is their habit. They crash, they burn, they get up, they get themselves together, they start getting in the momentum to start going. They go ahead, they get started, and then they get back into hustle and grind, hustle and grind, hustle and grind. They get back into hustle and grind with no clear strategy, no deliberate steps, and boom, they crash and burn again. And here's the thing, because I want to break this shame from you today, because the thought is that because you keep crashing, that there's something wrong with you. You think because you keep crashing that you're not good enough to be on this journey. And in all actuality, it's not that. You just need to sit your butt down and get clear about what you're doing. It's not to say that you don't need the hustle and grind. You need that. But can you hustle and grind with a clear strategy? Can you hustle and grind with some deliberate steps forward that are going to actually help you to get to your end result? It's easy to hustle and grind. I get it. That's that drive. But can we not drive off the road anymore? That part. So that is where we are at. And in this last 2 months, I'm going to make sure that they end this year on fire. I'm about to go live over in our group on the app because I want them to end the year on fire. And we have this training tomorrow is about to be a whole other type of the day. Because again, enough is enough. We've been saying that we need more money for this, we need more money for that. You have the money, you have things in your home right now. And I'm not telling you to sell the things in your home. Again, I'm not telling you to add no extra, like you starting a whole new business. That's what somebody was trying to get me to do. But that part. Come on. Come on, Mercy. Good morning, sis. So many people. That's what they did. And Mercy knows. Mercy was a part of the hashtag unmuted anthology. And I was heartbroken because we had so many things that we were supposed to be doing for that project. And it all got derailed. But if I wasn't deliberate about the steps, because the goal is still unmuting the voice of women and young and teens all around the world. That's still the goal. If I had let go of that, I wouldn't have done this week where I was doing mock interviews with Urban Alliance for seniors in Baltimore. Like crazy. If I would have allowed myself to get deterred by that, I would have been all the way off. I wouldn't have spoke at Girls Can Do Anything in the midst of the pandemic. Oh, sis, I appreciate you saying that. It was when I tell you I had moments where, and I broke down, I cried, I broke down, because I had such a huge plan and and my heart. This is the thing. When I do things in business, I do a lot of stuff with my heart. I'm learning I can't do everything with my heart, but I do a lot with my heart because I have a vision for wanting to see other people succeed and wanting to see things happen that impact lives. That's everything I touch. I want to impact lives. And so even with everything that happened with the book anthology, we were still able to send books to the prison. We were still able to go and books went out across, over in the UK, books went out in the Bahamas. Books were being sent out in different places. People were, I mean, it was bananas. But I'm thankful because it allowed me to be able to, again, I was able to go ahead and step back and still have my peace and still have my joy and still have my time and go ahead and reevaluate things and go ahead and shift in the areas I needed to shift. It was difficult, but I was still able to come back and hustle and grind. And a lot of people are fearful of that. That's right. They all the co-authors all were featured in a magazine that's in India. And they got some other opportunity. They got, I mean, they had, I posted opportunities for them to do podcast interviews and all types of, why? Because I wanted to make sure that they got the exposure they needed, even though we couldn't do the tour. I wanted to make sure that they got the exposure they needed. You know, I wanted to make sure that they got the opportunities. Like, and I still go and I'll do, this is now this part they don't know. Whenever I'm featuring that particular book on Amazon, I'm talking about their stories. I'm talking about them. I'm telling people to go find them on social media. Like, this is the stuff that I do because that's who I am. It's ingrained in me. But I had to start looking at, okay, so what does that mean for me? I know part of it, I need a team because I need some people dedicated in certain areas so that way everything is not on my shoulders. I need to be able to kind of spread it out more. I need, um, with what we're doing now, we need a dedicated um, publishing company that we're working with. So now that was the next thing. We got to dedicate because we have more anthologies coming through the company. And somebody was like, "Well, why don't you start your own publishing company?" I don't have the hands to do that right now. Like, I'm not going to put myself in that type of predicament. I'm not. So, but these are the types of opportunities that, I mean, literally, I have somebody right now that will train me fully on starting a publishing company, and I'm just like, I don't have the hands for it. I don't. I have somebody else that reached out, and they're like, okay, it's time for you to have your own station for podcasts, and I'm like, what does it all mean? Yo, so there are so many opportunities that was, listen. Look, Mercy said, I forgot you had a publishing company too, Mercy. Listen, I'm like, bruh, it's a struggle. But when I tell you I have people that are like, okay, come on, we can do, this is what, you know what I mean? This is the opportunity I want to put before you. And I'm like, I don't want to, it's not that I don't want to, but can't really do that in the way that I want to do it at the moment. But things are shifting. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Things are shifting. And that's why I said in this season, we're pushing hard to end this year strong. And that's why we're doing this training tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm looking forward to this conversation tomorrow morning. WVL accountability members, y'all better be ready. Come on. I know some of them are going to watch the replay and be like, oh, sugar snap peas. Because they know when I tell them we doing a training and they need to bring their index cards and their pens and we going to do the work, we going to do the work. So tomorrow's training, normally they're about an hour and a half, our Saturday calls. Tomorrow is going to be about at least 2.5 hours. Because they're going to do the work as we're there together. They're going to do the work. I'm excited about that. So, you guys, I am about to let you go so that I can go and get some more work done. I was scheduling out the blog posts because I want everything scheduled out for the next 2 months. Woo! Hustle and grind is for real, y'all. Everything will be scheduled out for the next 2 months. Some more podcast interviews are coming. So I have to get those transcribed so they can get out. Ooh, all the fun, the joy, the joy. Uh, but guys, that's what this is about. That's what this is about. It's about taking it to a whole nother level. And the increase is always going to come with some shifts and adjustments. But you have the right people around you. When you have the right people around you, it makes the transition so much easier. I told my clients, listen, you stay connected. Uh, whatever I got, you gonna have. If it's something I can't provide, I'm gonna show you the right direction to go into. I don't do copy. I'm a send them to April. I'm gonna go ahead. I don't do publishing. I was sending them somewhere else. Listen, I don't certain things. I'm like, I don't do that. I'm gonna send you somewhere else because I want to make sure that you have everything you need. Like it makes no sense. Like it makes no sense for me to go and do something and learn something just to come and teach it to you. That's foolish. I'm not gonna do that because that's taking away again. That's wasting my time, energy, and money. That's foolish. I'm not gonna do that. 8 o'clock. So my accountability call. We meet at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we normally do it on Zoom. Uh, but they have their own group on I have a band app, and so my accountability group has their own group on there, and so I'm going to do it on Zoom, and I think stream it into the band app, so that way they can see it in there as well, just in case. But I think, yeah, but it listen, I'll be like, we got things to do. If not, then we'll do it on Zoom, and then I'll upload it to their digital resource center, and they'll be able to catch the replay. But I'm like, we got things to do. I got things to do. So so you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'm excited, you guys. My jewelry's coming in today. Oh, oh, oh. So jewelry is coming in today for the awards gala. Next week, there's another awards gala tomorrow. So the one tomorrow is the Sister Leaders Award Gala. And that one, I'm a finalist, I think in two categories. Y'all don't get me the line. I think it's in two. Don't judge. And then next week, I'm being honored as a speaker on a rise with SpeakerCon. So next week, I'm actually traveling to Virginia. So I'm like trying to make sure this weekend I'm getting homework done. I'm getting all this stuff taken care of. And then next week I'll be able to take those 2 days, that Wednesday and Thursday off for travel and all that. Uh, so you guys will get to see when I come back. I'm going to have I'm going to do some videos and pictures and stuff while I'm there. So you guys will get to see that stuff on. So if you're not connected with me already, connect with me on Insta, because that's most likely where a good portion of them will be posted. Some will be posted on my Facebook page as well, and that part. So I'm super excited, you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Mm, 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 I'm excited. So you guys have a great rest of your. I keep feeling like it's a Saturday already. You guys keep having a great rest of your Friday and start to your weekend. Uh, if you need anything, message me. And until next time, guys, don't forget to press it out. See ya.